new trend on social media where girls are fed up with the fact that they have to work. They don't want to be girl bosses anymore. They are asking to rewind the clock and go back to the times that they had to stay in the home and not actually go to work, which is incredibly ironic considering that feminism runs rampant in our world and we're told that all women just want to be girl bosses and that is what is going to make us very, very happy and fulfilled. Newsflash, maybe it does not.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks with Kenny here today, and we're going to have an interesting inconvenient truth today. This is going to be about feminism. The inconvenient truth about feminism is that I believe it sold a woman a lie. Now, what's the feminist lie that I'm talking about? Well, the inconvenient truth about this whole feminism thing is I believe they have a misconstrued understanding of what actually makes women fulfilled in life, right? They say, oh, just be just like the men, right? And this is one of the things, and I feel like I could speak on this because my wife's a stay-at-home mom. We live off a single income, and we make a lot of sacrifices for that to be the case because, and again, I read a book called Atomic Habits, and I want lifestyle design. Lifestyle design is, hey, I want to be able to be home with my kids, with my wife, right? So I need to find a good paying job that's allowed me to stay at home and have a high income. Ding, ding, ding is why I work at tech, right? It's not like I have a passion for technology. This is why I'm doing it. No, I have more passion doing this than I do my actual job. But the reality is I need to have an income where I'll be able to afford paying the bills in the house, make sure my wife is comfortable enough where she don't have to work, and she chose not to work, right? She quit her job, whatever. She told her job, her boss talked to her wrong one time, and she was like, hey, yo, I quit. I don't need this job, right? Women want that ability, but men like me, we have a certain standard that we want as well. And feminists are not necessarily the best partners for men like me, right? Because I was raised by immigrants. Obviously, if you know me already, Haitian immigrants. My parents met in this country, had me, legend was born, right? And I was taught to be very traditional. Hey, Kenny, you're the man. You have to be able to provide for your family, be able to take care of your family. So how men operate in the workplace is different from how women operate in the workplace. And I think this is the lie that feminism has sold women, that your career is everything. Oh, men have autonomy. No, men didn't have autonomy. The only reason a man is making more money is so he has to take care of his family, because men are financially more literate than women. And men understand, hey, there's a certain income that I need for my wife to stay at home, to raise 2 children, and to be able to pay the mortgage. There's a certain amount of income that I have to make so that way my family can do the things that we want to do, right? This is why married men, if you look at statistics, who makes more money, single men or married men? Married men make more money. Why? Because they have a higher cost of living. But feminists don't tell you this lie, this truth. Sorry, I Freudian slip, right? Feminism lied to women about that. Men just made money just to make money. No, it was a means to an end. Men work to live, not live to work. And feminism has told women that they have to live so they can work. And now you see a lot of women, they're crying on social media. Actually, let's see Brett Cooper's reaction as a Gen Z woman over this new epiphany that women nowadays finally realize. Let's take a look.
Whoever fought for women to get jobs, why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up. Oh my god.
6 million views, and the comments did not disappoint. Somebody said, for real, why did they do that? I would have been completely chill running a household, cooking, going shopping, cleaning, stress-free, like, ugh, I hate working.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
Another person said, we're meant for home and to look pretty. I thought we hated the 1950s. I thought that's what feminism taught us. That we are supposed to hate flitting around the house in a little, tightly waisted dress and, cooking dinner for our husbands. I thought that was a terrible, terrible thing, but we want that now? Shocking how it all came full circle. Somebody else said, we fought to do something other than cleaning the house, but tell me why I'm still doing it? Good point. Another person said, should have fought a little less hard. And then there were a lot of people who were saying, we wanted the opportunity to do it, but I didn't want to be forced to do it. That's the government's fault.
I don't think that's the government's fault, but in a way it is, because who pushed it? The government. Like, imagine this. During the 1950s, when the feminist movement was coming up, feminists only made 20% of the population. That means they were a minority. Majority of women didn't want the right to vote. Majority of women didn't want all this stuff that feminists push today. But how did the feminists get all their agenda? The government. So in a way, yes, Brett Cooper's right about that. But also, I kind of want to highlight the fact that I think a part of me thinks that, and maybe in the comment section, if you're a female viewer and you're watching this and you're interested in hearing a perspective of a more traditional man who has a stay-at-home wife, do you believe that women are some of the most manipulated group of people in America? Let me know your comment section in the comment below. I want to boost engagement. I want to hear more of your thoughts about these topics, because I always find it interesting how feminists, they don't want to realize the reality that men are just more incentivized to work harder than women. Sorry, not sorry. Men take less vacation time. Men work longer hours than women, right? Men are more likely to negotiate their salaries than women. Men are more likely to take risk at work, right? And if you look at the patterns, how women operate in the workplace, they take more vacation time. They work less hours, right? They're more comfortable. They're more likely to be stagnant in their careers. Women are scared to change jobs as often as men do. If you look at the average who change jobs more, you're going to see it's men. Men change jobs a lot, because why? And this is a personal experience as a white collar worker. I switch jobs. I know I'm going to make more money than if I stayed in that job. If you stayed in that job for 3 years, get your 3% inflation adjusted for inflation, you're not making much money. Now, if I jump jobs every year, I'm guaranteed to make at least a 15% increase in my salary. And this is one of the reasons why men make more money than women in the workforce. But women don't want to acknowledge that. Women don't want to acknowledge that the fact is that men don't make more money because they're men, is because men tend to make different decisions than women do. And I believe these politicians emotionally manipulated women into doing a choice that benefited the government. Because why would you want more? Here's an argument for why a government would listen to a minority in the 1950s about working. More tax dollars. You double the workforce. Corporations love it because then you can lower the wages of men. Because only half the population, that was the norm in the 1950s, worked. So therefore, men had a higher income to work, because obviously there wasn't supply and demand. But now when you increase the supply, what happens to demand? Oh, it goes down. So they're like, oh, we're going to pay you cheaper labor now. And now we're living this reality today in 2023 where you need at least 2 incomes. On average, the average American family needs 2 incomes to sustain their household living expenses. Let's take a look.
This even made its way to the men's rights subreddit, which is just always a trip and so interesting. But this person says, imagine having someone voluntarily work 60-hour work weeks for you, providing for your every need and want, while the only expectation is that you cook, clean, and care for the children. And considering that slavery and oppression, even just reading that paragraph is just shocking to me, because how have we been conditioned to believe that being taken care of and tending for your home and playing with adorable, cute little children that you birthed, that you created, is slavery? How did they reprogram us to believe that? Anyway, this guy goes on. Even more, these same women refuse to date a man who would willingly stay home and do the same. So they don't even want role reversal. They want to be just as miserable as men are, and they'll call it equality. Congratulations and welcome to the consequences of your choices. You've played yourself. That line is so good in there. They just want to be as miserable as men are. I think the better line would just be they want to be as miserable as possible, because that gives them fodder. That gives them ammunition to be as angry and rabbity, feministy as possible. That's what they really want.
And that's the reality. Yes, that's true, right? And that's the inconvenient truth about feminism. It's just grievance culture. It's another form of grievance culture, right? It's the same kind of grievance that a lot of race hustlers, black race hustlers play too. They just want to be, because of the color of my skin, this is the reason for all the bad things that have ever happened in my life. Feminists, just because just because I'm a woman, this is why all these bad things happen in my life. And they always have some type of grievance. Right? Just like black people have this, I need reparations from white people because I'm a descendant of a slave, even though you never personally experienced or suffered the environment of slavery. Feminists today will act like they're always oppressed by the patriarchy when they never experienced the patriarchy. And I'll make the argument that the patriarchy didn't come about because men wanted to subjugate women. It came about because men wanted to take care of women. And because women said they don't want to be taken care of anymore, and you allowed these minorities, which was at the time only 20%, to condition the next generation. And this is how women kind of fell into this default mode of, I got to take care of myself. I got to figure out what I want to do in life. I got to work and provide for myself. I got to take care of myself. I got to be independent, right? And then when you operate independent, you're surprised when you're not in a relationship, right? And it kind of extends more into the culture that we're currently in today, is that feminism doesn't want to recognize that there's some biological factors that play into what men and women find satisfactory or fulfilling, right? And this is why my problem with feminism is that it believes everything is social. Oh, society trained men to be stronger than women. That's the only reason men are stronger than women. No, in my view, the inconvenient truth is feminism do not recognize nature. They only recognize nurture, and they think nurture is responsible for everything, all the disparities in society. Men are taller than women. Men on average are stronger than women. Men are better at sports than women. Feminists don't want to accept that. They're going to be like, no, everything's socially engineered. And then when reality smacks them in the face and shows them that their theories are wrong, they don't want to give up on it. It's hubris, right? And this is the culture we get today. Now is the dating has become a proxy for the gender war, where men are trying to get as much as they can out of women without giving up their end of the bargain. And you see why there's such a difference between men and women today. I just read something that 12th grade men are more conservative than the women that they're graduating with. Women are more like the 12th grade women are more likely to be liberals, and 12th grade boys are more likely to be conservative. How is that going to play out in the dating market in the future? Now, some people said that, women will be trending more conservative when they get older because obviously they'll want to date somebody, right? And this is all I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm just trying to get my thoughts about this feminism stuff, because I've been arguing with feminists all my life. I in my view, if you're a conservative dude, you don't even marry a feminist. Then a lot of feminists might get mad at me for saying that, but that's the truth. You're not equally yoked. You guys don't see the world the same way. And your relationship will cause more friction than any kind of semblance of normalcy. But hey, I'm rambling a lot too much. Let's get into the next clip with Brett Cooper, and she'll go more into the kind of the men's reaction to all this virality of women regretting being part of the workforce. Let's take a look.
That's what they really want. Because then that gives them a new platform and a new angle to be pissed about stuff like the patriarchy did this to me. I'm so angry because of you. No, it's actually because of you. Somebody else said, who gives a f***? Men have been doing the grind since forever. The feminists wanted equality, then they can have the responsibility that goes along with it. Suck it up. Exactly. Another person said, the problem is the socioeconomic system, not that women want to work. Salaries are horrible and everything is more expensive. Being most of the day tired is not the way to live. Very, very true. The economy is absolutely dog shit right now, for lack of a better word. People are really, really struggling. Very few people are able to live off of a single income family. And if you do, you are making huge sacrifices for your partner and for your children, which is incredible. And that is something to be admired, but it is very, very hard to do that. It is nearly impossible in Joe Biden's economy.
Come on, man.
Somebody else said, the two-parent working household f***ed us all up so much to the point that we are now financially worse off and more unhappy than ever before. Yes. Now, I thought this particular comment was interesting. This guy said, I hate it when women are like, oh my God, I have to work and then come home and do housework. If you're living on your own, no shit. Everyone has to do housework if they live alone. If you're living with people, have them do some, or imagine they probably are. If you are in a relationship with a man and he refuses to do any housework and he isn't a millionaire or making six figures or something, then either break up or get him to start doing his fair share. Women are not the only ones doing work. Men, for all of history, work and then came home to do housework. It has changed a lot, but it is the truth. This is the truth, because taking care of the home and feeding yourself is literally part of staying alive. It is just part of living as a functioning human in society. Taking care of yourself, it's the bare minimum. But I see all these wives on TikTok who get on their high horse and say, oh my God, I can't believe I have to work and then come home and do other work. You're still a human being. Having a job does not make you exempt from taking care of your life outside of your job. That's just real life. You can like it or you can hate it, but that's just part of life, and that's not your husband's fault.
And that's the inconvenient truth about feminism, bro. I think I already made the point, but it's grievance culture. It's grievance culture going by another name, right? Identity politics going by another name, right? This is why I'm against identity politics, period, right? Because a lot of feminist articles will come on and say, oh, women do the bulk of invisible labor. And I go, what is invisible labor? Define that. And they, wishy-washy. They don't want to be specific about things because they know it's common sense. Okay, if you want your husband to do more housework, ask him. Tell him, hey, husband, can you do more housework? In my house, even though I'm the breadwinner, I'm the only one working, and we're a single income family, I'll say about 20% of the housework in the house. Majority of the housework is my wife. 80 is like 80-20 rule. We play the 80-20 rule, right? I pay all the bills. She's primarily with the kids. She's teaching them. They do homeschool. They take care. And then when she needs support from me, I come help her, right? Like there's roles, gender roles, right? A lot of feminists didn't like that, what I just said there, but There's a reason why traditional marriages have a higher success rate than modern marriages. When women are the breadwinners, they tend to use it as a cudgel against their husband to show him how inadequate he is in the relationship. Right. And then these same women, when they're divorced, they're going to say, oh, my husband was insecure. I made more money than him. No, is you kept bashing your husband over the head, minimizing his contributions to the household because he was a stay-at-home dad. Right. And there was a show in Netflix. I know. I still have Netflix. I know. My wife. I know. So it was a show called How to Get Rich. And there was an episode. I might do a reaction video to it. Let me know if you guys are interested in that reaction video, where there was a woman. She was the breadwinner. Her husband voluntarily, he used to be an electrical engineer. He voluntarily decided, hey, I'm going to stay at home, take care of the kids, lower our costs. Because this is a point that a lot of feminists don't want to recognize, is the two income trap. This is a book by Elizabeth Warren. Yes, Elizabeth Warren. Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren. Yes, she made a book when she used to make sense, when she used to be a Republican, called The Two Income Trap. And she highlights how the amount of the expenses that a woman occurs to work, it would have been better off if she just stayed at home and made spending adjustments in their household, right? The average cost of daycare, I believe, at least in Florida, is about $1,200 a month. Yes, $1,200 a month to take care of your kid, to send your kids to daycare so your wife can go work. That's how much money my wife saves me when she doesn't go to work, right? And then all we have to do is make cost adjustments, especially in this economy. Right now, we're trying to build up savings, and that's the only thing I'm worried about right now. But hey, that's the inconvenient truth about feminism, is that it didn't equate for women's fulfillment. It just wanted women to be a certain way. And in the day, there's two paths, right? My thing is, hey, I want you to have an informed decision. You can't have it all, women. Sorry, not sorry. That's the reality of the world. The reality of the world is life is about trade-offs. You must make a trade-off. Either you want a family or you want a career, but you can't chase both. Right? Only in college you can kind of chase both, because you got a large social group. You get to mingle with people of like-minded, direction and goals. That's your best chance to find a mate. After college, it becomes a lot harder to date, right? And women don't take that into consideration. They come here, date aimlessly. Oh, I'm just gonna have fun, right? But they don't understand they're trading in their time for that. That means there's less time for them to find a good partner. And then they wonder why the divorce rates are so high. It's because of the decision making that both genders are making, right? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say you can't have it all at one time. You have to pick and choose. You have to prioritize one or the other at different moments and different times. That's all I'm trying to say. Because in a day, and maybe people will get mad about this conclusion of mine with feminism. Feminism doesn't take into account or doesn't tell you the reality of, hey, woman, biology, at a certain age, I believe it's 35 years old, you lose 90% of your eggs. You become high-risk pregnancy. Your kid is more susceptible to have birth disorders or birth defects as you have kids older and older, and you wonder why the rate of autism is so high in America now. Is because women are having kids at a lot on average at an older age. Feminism, anyone, right? Feminism doesn't take that into account for part of women's satisfaction. If the point is feminism is here for women, when they took into consideration, okay, women's mental health, women's happiness, right? Liberal women are the least happiest people in America, and liberal women are more likely to be feminists. So is the reality of feminism, and the inconvenient truth about feminism is that it leads most women into a situation where they'll be unhappy with. Hey, you guys can answer that question for yourselves. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoy the inconvenient truth about feminism. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.